Welcome to the Insider series. Tonight we have someone that doesn't just talk about creating opportunities, she builds them. She's the founder and director of Under the Radar in London, a live music movement that got 15 plus events on since 2022, shining a spotlight on female and underrepresented artists. She's also the creator behind Matchstick Festival, so we had a really good chat about that. And an artist in her own right, official Shannon. This is someone that knows how to run a show, rock the stage. And if you ever wondered about how to run your own gig, build a community, or still waiting for someone else's permission, you're in the right place. Shannon, I'm so excited to have you on here. And my opening question is, what's the story behind Under the Radar? Where did the spark come from?
So I graduated from uni in 2019. I did musical theatre, actually kind of near Portsmouth area in Chichester. And so I've always known I wanted to be a performer myself. I've always had a hobby of like songwriting. So I kind of had a switch over COVID between kind of I thought I wanted to be a musical theatre performer. And then I feel like COVID changed my path into being a music artist. And that's when I think it was the year before COVID hit. I was already writing songs anyways, but I didn't think, I had the capacity to take it seriously. I didn't know if that was my path. But anyways, I just tried out some things at open mic nights and just different things where I could just maybe just try it out and test the waters as a music artist and to see if that could be something for me. And I just noticed when I went to these things on my own, for example, in London, there wasn't, so this was 2019, there wasn't many like female artists on the scene at these open mics or behind the scenes like doing sound engineering. And I just really felt that as a woman like entering the scene as potentially an early stage artist. And I just felt there wasn't much representation for women. And I eventually did the switch from musical theatre to straight music during the pandemic. And I started, once things started opening up again, I did start doing like proper gigs. And I just thought I had good experiences and bad experiences with promoters as an early stage artist, as you do, and you find things out. But it kept inspiring me to maybe think about what if I put on an event, how would it look like? How could I actually represent the people that, aren't being represented? And actually taking away those bad experiences I had with promoters and going, actually, if I run this, it would be so much different. And I'd give such a different experience to the artist to actually go away and, feel good about what they've done, actually make some money from what they've done and inspire other people that feel less represented as well. So that's when I went to my friend that I worked on a music video with maybe a year before, and we met up for a drink, and he had so much event experience. He'd taken bands on tour in America, for example, and he'd done so much more than I'd ever done with events. And so I pitched the idea to him about I want to do this event. I want to make it an all-female lineup, and I want to call it Under the Radar. This was back in 2021. And he was like, I love it. It's at the time it's quite niche. And he was like, yeah, let's just do it. Let's just start putting on gigs. And he had some contacts already in London, and we put our first Under the Radar event on in a place called Amp Studios in New Cross. And yeah, he already knew like the venue owner there. He'd done gigs there before, so it was quite an easy way in for me. And yeah, and then so the guy, my friend, he's called Tom, and he worked in the music industry full time as a promoter for Camden venues. So he had all this insight, which I was so grateful for. And he just helped me out as a mate, really. And then we sort of went into business together, and Under the Radar began. And the rest is history. Yesterday was our 17th event since 2022. So we've just been building and building the community, and we've put on a few different festivals, and it's been growing from there, really.
It's really funny, isn't it? Because promoters need to understand exposure doesn't pay the bills, and an artist
Yeah.
needs to be paid for their craft and their work. And something that Under the Radar has in abundance on the festival as well, Shannon, is it really is a community. And I feel like my questions around today is what's the difference between a crowd and a community? And how, as an artist, have you got all these like-minded people who are very open, they have similar facing values against the industry? How have you managed that? Because from someone that here at MS UK and our amazing community I love, but from all the artists on this call now or watching this afterwards, like I think that's such a key development in their careers when they can really say, yeah, look at my community. These are the people around me that I've built. So what's the difference between a crowd and a community?
I think when you're putting on an event and you're trying to advertise it to get the right crowd and audience in front of you, um, you want to be specific about what your event does so it attracts the right people, or whether you're putting it out on TikTok and you're advertising it on there, using keywords on your video, your caption. It TikTok will automatically read that and put that in front of people that are interested in those keywords, like female, non-binary artists, transgender artists, whoever you're trying to appease to and make the event for. I just think you need to be really clear in your advertising of it, to get the right people at your event. That doesn't make it a crowd of just anyone. It's not just bodies in a room. They're people that are going to appreciate the craft and the art that is put in front of them, because they already know from, I mean, a lot of people come to our events from seeing me on TikTok. So they already know what they're in for. They've seen our event online and they've gone, I fancy a bit of that. I fancy being part of this community, or I fancy just trying out a new event, or supporting female artists or artists that are less represented than others. Um, so I think that really helps, just putting out there what you're about, making it really clear, with your branding, with your message, with your videos you're putting out. What exactly is your event and why should people come and what can they expect? And that's how you get the right people within your audiences.
Sean, that is a phenomenal answer. I really, really like that. So many of the artists on here might go, Josh, all these promoters, I've not had a good experience. I want to put on my own event. I want to make some money, put on my own show. I'm not going to pay a promoter's cut. What's the first steps to planning a DIY gig if it's your first time doing it?
The first steps would be going to events that inspire you. If you see an event online, or if you see an under the radar event, for example, you see a video and you're like, okay, cool, they've got a free entry event next week. It's not going to cost me anything to go. Let's go see what venue they're using. Have a chat to me, the promoter, or whoever's running the event, and go, oh, Shannon, I'd be quite interested in this venue. I really love what you're doing. Do you have the contact details or email address to this venue owner or the person that runs the bookings? And I'd be like, sure, because I don't like to gatekeep. I'd be happy to share any email address with a positive experience I've had with a venue owner. Because, yeah, I believe there should be hundreds of more grassroots events happening, because a lot are dying. It is sadly kind of a dying scene in some of the corners. So I always push for more grassroots artists and events wherever I can. And yeah, so the first step would be just kind of working out where you're going to do your event. Have venues in mind by going to gigs. A lot of them can be free entry these days, so yeah, you don't even have to spend money on a gig ticket sometimes. Um, and yeah, try and find them on LinkedIn, get their email address, um, and try and make those initial contacts first. Um, it really is like sort of based around community and how you find acts as well, and how you can rely on acts to make your event a good event. So I think just maybe start posting videos. I mean, I started this as an artist. I sort of fell into promoting because I was so passionate about finding other artists like myself and representing them. So anyone can put on an event if you're passionate enough. Just by putting yourself out there, putting out videos and just kind of, I don't know, through myself saying opinions about the music industry, and you'll have so many comments of people that either agree with you, disagree with you. The ones that agree with you, that is your basis, like your first like point of community, because you've found people with similar opinions to you. Um, and make a group chat with them, keep posting videos about like similar things, similar opinions you had, and but building on them with other points and stuff. And it's just, you can build a community from, just posting about what you really think and being authentic. And then once you've got that online community going, you can kind of physicalize it with these events when you finally got that reply from that venue owner going, yeah, we'd love to have you on. We love what your message is. And again, be strong with what you want to achieve, your branding, like why are you putting on events, what inspired you. Like I've got a whole story and reason behind why I started Under the Radar, so you've got to have that story for yourself. And the more confident you are with getting that across to venue owners, the more they'll understand what you're trying to do. And the more likely it will be you'll get a response from them as well. So yeah, hopefully that covers a few things to get into starting events.
Absolutely. Right. We're very, very lucky because we have, I think, 25 incredibly talented artists on this call with us, Shannon, all here in this call.
I feel like my very well lighting's gone a bit.
This is your chance with Shannon right now. Put a question in the chat, put in the Discord. If you want to ask her personally or me ask it, just let me know. This is your opportunity. This is my last question I'm going to ask, and I'm going to hand over to you guys. So my last question, Shannon, from me, for artists watching right now, what's the biggest difference between artists waiting for opportunities and creating your own? Because what I've seen and seeing you come up over the last few years is you're a real go-getter and nothing was going to stand in your way. So what's the biggest difference for you?
I talk about this a lot actually. I was talking about it a lot yesterday at my event. You have to attract rather than chase, because 9 times out of 10, and I still find this as an artist, I'm still pushing my artist project as well as putting on events. 9 times out of 10, you won't get a reply when you apply for things unless you've already built a relationship with the person in the panel or the person that runs the event. Obviously, you have all of these like schemes and things that festivals run where it's like apply to play. But again, a lot of the time, like a lot of artists will find that, it's just comes to a dead end and like they don't hear anything back. But what you can do is create your own world and attract promoters to it, attract those festival bookers to your world. And I know it's so hard, because what I'm about to say is just post on TikTok, post on Instagram, and I know loads of people hate it, and like I still have a love-hate relationship with it, because no one knows how to go viral. There's not an answer to it. You can only just try, and that's all you can do. Like it's just the best thing to try and build this world again as an artist as well as an event organizer, promoter. Know your brand, know why you started, remember that along the way, and community will come to you. I promise. Like community will come to you if you keep pushing yourself out there. Be opinionated, like be authentic. Don't just try and fit in and talk about what other people were talking about on TikTok or wherever it is. Like obviously take inspirations, but have your own thoughts about things. And yeah, just don't be scared to voice what you think, because that's what makes you you. That's why you write music. You go against the grain or whatever it is. Just remember your passion. And yeah, just keep posting about it, because it's a free marketing tool. And you can post freely however many times you want a day. So yeah, I'd say attract rather than chase when it comes to that situation.
Incredible. Yeah, and TikTok, you can post multiple times and people are going to interact with it and swipe on. So go for it. I'm going to embarrass him a little bit. He's in the chat with us, Sean. This guy called Max Sar, incredible artist, and he built an amazing community on his socials, and then he's transferred them over to his own Discord server, where Max, if you're here, I'm sure you are, your fans are talking about the latest music, the merch, their dogs and cats. They've got a channel for pets. Like, it's an incredible community that he's built, leveraging socials. And Under the Radar, I just feel like the passion that everyone has in their room and the values they have and the support, it's just an amazing thing you've built, Shannon. I'm going to move over to the questions from people. So I'm going to start with some that I've got a message on the Discords. And I've got one from Moxon, and he's asked specifically about your festival, Shannon. So,
Oh, yeah.
do you recommend small artists apply for next year? Is there any other festivals you think we should be applying for, diamonds in the rough, that I might be missing out on?
So we haven't got a Matchstick Festival planned for next year, just to put it out there. But whenever we do have any opportunities come up for Under the Radar, we'll always post them on our socials, put them on our mailing list. So if you want to hear about any future opportunities from us, make sure you're following us, make sure you're on the mailing list, just so you don't like miss out because of the algorithm or whatever. And in terms of like, was it festivals that you should apply for? Is that
Diamonds in the rough, the non-common ones, I think he's trying to find out.
the non-common festivals? Well, I'd say Wreckfest because
He's played twice, so he definitely knows Rex.
yeah, okay, you already got that one. I'm trying to think. Do you know what? I'm gonna answer. This isn't like I'll say so. You know what? I was hanging out with Josh at the Great Escape Festival, and there were so many alternate events there that weren't actually part of the official Great Escape. But promoters, like there's a promoter called Dan Sheed, and he does a lot of things in London. He's an artist manager as well. He just hired out this coffee shop nearby to the Great Escape Festival, and he put on artists all day. And he had sort of it was incredible. Me and Josh watched a lot of it. Yeah, it was free entry. You just pop up to this coffee shop, and you've got 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. artists all day. And he just organised that with the coffee shop owners. And although obviously that's not a festival in itself, like he sort of joined on to the hype of everyone's going to be around Great Escape Festival. Like we've got to do an event nearby where people, walking by and, make it a whole thing where artists can apply to play and all this stuff. So like just stumbling across things that promoters are doing around other festivals as sort of like, oh, I didn't know that was happening. And it's sort of like a little gem you can stumble across while you're at a bigger festival. I mean, I went to the Great Escape. I didn't even have a ticket. I just drove down there. I saw Josh. Josh got me in with a +1. I just was riding the wave of like, oh, I'll know people there, There'll be, and I bumped into so many artists there. So it's just, yeah, it's crazy what you can just find when you're kind of winging it and just kind of just follow these promoters. Again, follow the promoters of events that you love, and you'll see them do things with festivals, and you can quite easily jump on them if you build up a relationship with them.
It's great advice, like the unofficial pies, because all these big contacts of the Great Escape need to go get their coffee. And if they've been to an artist performing, it's genius. Right, Sean, we've had loads of questions go through, so I'm just going to put it through them, okay? Diedi said, just want to say thanks, what incredible advice. Dan Ammers said, sorry, I'm on my work, my camera's off, but when you're booking artists for shows, what do you look for? What can someone do to stand out? She also says that she always says that her music's written and produced by herself, writing about her journey in mental health in a positive way, as well as quotes around her performance. Does that appeal to promoters, or does it need to be more detailed or less detailed?
Okay, so the first section, what do I look for when putting together a lineup? It honestly really depends because each show is different. Like some shows will be focused on the genre, so like soul and R&B, and I'll literally just scout soul and R&B artists that I've been wanting to work with for a while, or they've been wanting to play before but they couldn't make the date or whatever. So there is like a long line of artists that I just haven't got around to working with yet, just because they might have not fit the genre, they might have not been available, they might not have been in town, there's just so many different reasons. But again, yeah, so it does vary. But a big factor is, have you been to an under radar event before? We offer so many different types of events, free entry, ticketed, headline shows for artists. We do loads of collaborations. We're going to get on festival stages next year. But if we don't have that existing relationship, like I said before, with an artist, if you're a stranger emailing, and you haven't built up any relationship before, you're not likely to get a reply, because me and Natalie, the only ones that work for Under the Radar, we do it for free. We don't really make any money from it. We don't have enough time or hours in the day to reply to every single person. We had 300 submissions for our showcase yesterday. We only had 10 artists accepted. So again, all that, and we didn't get paid for that. It was free entry. So imagine all the admin, us going through 300 submissions, like to really stand out. like you just got to come to the events, like make yourself known, like say hi to me, say hi to Natalie, apply to Natalie's radio show on Future Hits. Like there's so many ways you can get to know us better by seeing our profile, seeing what we're doing, looking at who we're collaborating with, turning up and just like, yeah, just keep turning up and supporting, then we can, you know, bring support back to as many people as possible. And then I forgot, sorry, the last half of that.
So when they're applying, how much detail do you want to know about where the music was written about, or like the values behind it? Is that something that's important?
Yeah, it's important. I'd say a time that would the time that would be important to say is when I post a TikTok asking for music submissions, comment your song down below. Instead of just writing the song name and title, it's perfect to add a meaning behind it because it just adds more context of like, oh, like I haven't heard the song yet, but they've said it's about this, but I don't know, a topic of mental health or a topic of heartbreak or whatever it is. It just gets you, like, it's just more interesting to read as more of a paragraph comment rather than just a title. So in those like situations, I'd say it's really helpful when you're just kind of going through the comments and it can stick out a bit more. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Incredible advice. And the big takeaway there, guys, that little gold nugget for me, go meet people in person, network. And my best friend in the whole wide world is LinkedIn because I go on LinkedIn and I find contacts who've done it before, what I'm wanting to do. And I use that platform every single day messaging. When I was like putting on my first ever events before Wreckfest, I was on there going, right, who's done shows that I want to do? Who's done festivals? I think I messaged Pete Tong and Becky Hill's manager, got invited to the O2. I often make teas and coffees, but I just wanted to see how they did it. Michelle Gallis has asked, hello, my name is Michelle Gallis. You said that you know someone who helped you have experiences in the music industry as a promoter. So is it important to have someone who has already done it at the event to work with before you do? She has a lot of ideas on events. So can you talk about the financial organizations, like where does that put in place when you're managing an event?
Yeah, I'd say it was a massive help for me to have a friend that was already in event management and had already done it, like in the music industry. So obviously that was a big plus, but you don't have to have someone like that to start. Like with anything, just start and you'll find your way. Like, find and go to those events that inspire you and just talk to the people that run them and just ask them, or just kind of show your interest and then just say like, you know, I'm looking to get into this myself, like do you have any advice? And yeah, and then just I just say start, like there's no other way to like get stuck into something than, you know, than just starting and asking questions. Like don't be afraid to ask people things. And more often than not, like people want to help because the grassroots community, like we need more help. Like we need to help each other. So people would be, you know, happy to help you. Um, and financial organization to put in place. Um, every event is different. Some venues will have different deals. Like some will be like, you know, if you can bring X amount of people, you know, you can have this space, like, because they'll be buying drinks or whatever, they'll be buying food. Some of them will have like a budget, an artist budget. So like, for example, the Finsbury, they'll have an artist budget and we can do a free entry night there. But the artists will still get paid, but we're not getting any money from tickets because obviously the tickets are free, but the pub will pay us money to put on entertainment from their night. So the artists do get paid, but you know, it's a free entry show. So it's sort of a win-win, but they do have like a certain budget for that. Other venues won't have any budget and there will just be a ticketing system. And then you as a promoter have to decide how you want to split that between your artists. So if you want to do a 50-50 split between the promoter and the artist, that is very common. Some do more in favor of the artist, 60-40. And if, well, what I found as a promoter, if you build up enough trust with an artist, you can see they're selling out 100 cap venues. You can kind of trust them to kind of bring X amount of people because you've seen proof of it online. You can, and you've been to their show, you can see how many people they're bringing. You can offer them a fee at that stage because you can guess it is all the risk on the promoter, but you know, if it pays off, you both make a profit. So there's so many different like financial like scenarios, but it just depends on the event that you're doing and also the venues that you're working with.
Incredible advice, guys. I love the fact everyone in the chat's helping each other because we're not getting through anywhere near all of these comments at the moment. That'd be lovely to see. Eric's asked, is there a right time for an artist to start booking shows like this? Is there a certain number of followers or Spotify listens, etc.?
Depends what kind of show you want to do. Like if it's a showcase, and there's lots of artists, you don't really have to have a certain amount of listeners because you'll be, for example, yesterday I did a festival of 10 artists. Like between them, everyone's going to bring fans, however many followers they have. There's going to be the community there, that make up the audience as well. So it honestly depends. I'd say like with most early stage, like grassroots venues, like, you know, you don't really need to have a certain number of followers. You just gotta kind of have, you know, show that you're good at playing live, depending what sort of caliber of gig you want to do. But yeah, again, I don't think it really matters as long as you show that, you know, you're building a fan base in some way, and you're passionate about the event you're applying to. I think it's all good.
Absolutely. Now, Shannon, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to ask you questions after this. So I want a final message from yourself about Under the Radar, what's going on. And if people do want to reach out to you and join the community, maybe come to some of your shows, where's the best place for them to do so?
Yeah, perfect. So thanks so much for having me, Josh, and all the artists here listening. Like, you're really investing your time really well by going to these webinars because knowledge is power. You know, this is going to help you in your career. And I'd just like to finish off by saying that our next Under the Radar event is on the 12th of November at the Finsbury. It's free entry. And yeah, we're going to have an all-female lineup, and we're just going to keep doing these events, like collaborating with artists on headline shows. Like that's the thing you can email us about and inquire about if you'd like to collaborate with us on your own headline, where you get more of a like front, like you're the driving force in, like, you know, desiring like what you want to have a cap venue, and we talk about it, have a call. But yeah, do get down to the events, keep supporting each other and going to gigs, getting out there, networking. That's what it's all about. And yeah, I'm happy to chat to anyone anytime. So yeah.
Guys, I'll make sure we put all the details in the Discord, so you can speak to Under the Radar, Shannon, and the emails. Shannon, thank you so much for the advice. The golden nuggets you've dropped today are incredible, and I completely agree. You guys turning up here for the Insider Series, you're ahead because you're getting knowledge that other people aren't. Thank you so much for coming, guys. And what do we say to Shannon? Let's give Shannon a big thank you in the chat, a little clap, a little comment, because we really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, good luck out there.
So much, Shannon. Really appreciate it.
Cheers, guys.